Hey everybody, welcome to a Saturday night casual stream. Hope everybody's doing well. It is about 6:10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and just doing a little fun stream tonight. It's been my usual 4 or 5 weeks prior, that I since my last stream, and this time I have something really exciting to celebrate. We're going to be hitting 15,000 subscribers on the channel. And I think the last time I looked, let's see, we were about 12 away. So let's see where we are now. And yep, we are still 12 away. So we're going to be hitting that milestone pretty shortly. And I'm really excited. I want to thank everybody for uh, subscribing to the channel, supporting the channel all these years. I couldn't have done it without you. I never expected that I would see 100 subscribers, 50 subscribers, never mind 15,000. So that said, what I want to do is I'm going to announce a giveaway, and that'll be announced sometime this week. And what I'm going to give away is this TP-Link TLR605 gigabit multi-WAN VPN router. So that's going to be the giveaway for 15,000K. And I'm really excited because the router's virtually new. I mean, I did get it. I did do a couple of videos on it here in the lab, but it's never been out in production. So what I'll do is I'll factory reset it and package it up, and we'll have a giveaway. Details on the giveaway will be coming this coming week. I'll probably do like a YouTube short video announcing when the window opens and when the window closes. So stay tuned for that. So I'm really excited about that. Let's see if we have anybody else here. So we have Jacob Johnson. Howdy from Central Illinois. Howdy, Jacob. Thank you for joining us on this Saturday evening. Hey, David Grishko, welcome. How are you? How's the family? How's the house coming along? Think of you often with the house since we're both in that construction stage. Thank you for joining us on a Saturday evening. So a couple things we have in store for you tonight. I want to give you a quick update on the house. Speaking of the construction, want to also talk to you about my car, my truck. We talked about in the last stream. I had thought I was scammed, so I'll just give you a quick update on that. And then I actually have a guest waiting in the wings. Joe from Untitled Technologies is here with us tonight, and we're going to do some fun stuff together, trying to spin up a 3CX phone system in the cloud and then trying to get a remote phone here in the office connected to it. So we'll have a little fun with that as well. So next thing I want to bring up is my house. So we are about 5 to 6, maybe 7 weeks out from taking possession. I'm getting really excited. I can't wait to get in there and start first get all moved in and everything, but I can't wait. I'm chomping at the bit to get in there, terminate the wires, test everything, rack the equipment, and get the network up and running. So looking forward to that. So I don't have any pictures or any videos to share with you. If you've been following the streams, you've kind of seen the whole process. I've taken you along with me. Just wanted to give you a quick verbal update on that. And as far as my truck, well, in the last stream, I was in the process of paying off the truck and just buying out the lease. And I was having such a time with Chrysler Capital to a point where I thought I was actually scammed and out like $21,000. Fortunately, shortly after that stream, a few days later, I did actually get the title in the mail, but it was just such a runaround, and I had such a loss in confidence at that point prior to getting the title. Because every time I called, I must have made 4 or 5 phone calls, and I would get a different person all the time, and I would get a different story all the time. So it was kind of getting to the point where I scratching my head saying, did I just get taken and not realize it? But thank God everything worked out, and I have the title in hand. I went to motor vehicle. I had it all switched over, and I am now the proud owner of my 2018 1500 Ram. So yeah. All right, let me go back to the comments really quick. Let's see what's going on there. So David Grishko says, on the road from my house project, so I will be mostly listening today. Cool. Well, thank you for joining us, David. And David also says, as I as well just ran Cat 6 everywhere at my house. Excellent. Yep, that's exactly what I did. And that was on the recommendation, not the Cat 6 to run Cat 6, but to run everywhere in the house was on the recommendation from everybody that had been following my streams. So I want to thank everybody for the suggestions on that, because we got that done, and now I'm very happy that we did do that. So, okay, now real quick, I want to bring my buddy Joe from Controlling on the screen, and we're going to welcome Joe. There we go. Welcome, Joe.
Hello.
How are you?
Doing well. How are you?
All right. Thank you for joining.
This is pretty snazzy.
Thank you for joining me tonight, and we're going to have a little casual fun here in our studio.
Yeah, Tony tells me that I'm corporate Joe sometimes when I get in the stream. So I said, well, if you don't want me to be so formal, then you have to run the stream. So that's what Tony's doing tonight. So I am cool as a cucumber.
I am. For a change, I got everything running here on the back end, right? So, and speaking of that, I'm glad you said that, because I just want to bring up this feed here. I just got...
Oh, I have to go live on my channel, Tony.
You didn't do that yet?
Forgot about that part.
Aha.
No, now I am.
All right.
See, I'm so calm and cool and collected that I... All right, let me go live on mine.
Casual Joe.
It's Casual Joe, everybody. Welcome.
Anyway, so yes, I am running the stream here from my studio tonight. And what we're doing is we're experimenting actually with a couple of SRT encoders and decoders. And what you're seeing on the screen, I picked up a couple of these U-Ray decoders this week. And I have actually, this is the first time we're using them. We haven't had a chance to test them. But Joe, I know, has had an SRT encoder, and I think it's a U-Ray, right, Joe?
Yeah, all mine are U-Ray.
So let me just switch us back. And I think you just picked up a second encoder, what, like yesterday or this morning it came in?
Just for this stream. Yep, it came in from Amazon. So I'm sending out I'm sending out my laptop screen, and I'm sending out my camera over to Tony, and then Tony's mixing it in his A10 Mini Extreme, which is awesome. So I just have to send the feeds. Tony does all these fancy graphics and lower thirds and names. It's great.
Yeah, so I'm taking in the two SRT feeds. I had practiced this week with setting up a couple of Pis. I have a Pi 3 laying around, and then I had ordered a Pi 4. And I turned them into on-premise SRT decoders. And Joe and I did a little playing around earlier in the week, and it actually worked very well, I would say. I thought so anyway, Joe, when we did that test the other night.
Oh, yeah. We left it running for what, over an hour? And then with Jay Shell, some of you may know Jay, TVJ on YouTube. We did some tests with Jay as well, where we left a feed up. Jay was sending me a feed for 24 hours, and it basically had no issues at all. So SRT is Secure Reliable Transport, I think it stands for, right, Tony? Tony, what do you think about that?
That is correct. And it stands for Secure Reliable Transport. And super low...
Tony's got Wikipedia.
Yeah. See, I do. It's right. No, it's super low latency, super low latency, encrypted. And I think when we did the clap test the other night, it was like 0.53 or 0.54 of a 1 second delay. So it was pretty cool. Yes. And the reason I tend to crack up when Joe says certain things is because he has a tendency to pull that corporate Joe on me, and we'll be in a live stream together as we are now, and he'll say, so real serious, he'll go, so what do you think, Tony? And he knows damn well I don't know the answer to what he's asking me, but he does it anyway. So
I like to watch Tony squirm.
But
that's the real point of it.
But
Tony, what's on your shirt, by the way?
So it's a shirt that says, I think it says, my favorite people call me Dad. So You can call me Dad, Joe, because I am probably old enough to be your dad.
Yeah, but your skin is still very supple. I don't see any wrinkles, so I think you're still good.
Oh, I appreciate that. But in any event, so yeah, so Joe's sending me two SRT streams. I'm taking them into my ATEM via the two decoders, and then we are streaming out to both YouTube channels through an RTMP server that I have running in a Docker image, a Docker container on my Synology. So that's the setup for tonight, and hopefully it's working well. So let us know if you see any blips as the stream goes on. And with that, Joe, I'm going to bring you up and let you tell everybody what we're going to attempt to accomplish tonight with your portion of this
Sure.
stream. Your
Okay, there I am in full screen. So we are going to mess around a little bit with a PBX called 3CX. So on my channel, you've probably seen, if you have followed, I've done some videos on free PBX, on Clearly IP, which has modules for free PBX. And lately I've been messing around with 3CX. 3CX, you can run it on different things, Raspberry Pis, you can run it locally in the cloud. They have a hosted version. So I hadn't used it before, but recently spun one up on an EC2 instance in AWS, and it's been working great. So Tony and I thought, hey, that would be kind of fun to kind of walk through that process. And then Tony's got a GrandStream phone at his house that he'll register to the um, to the 3CX instance. So I got distracted because I saw TVJ come on the screen. Hello, TVJ.
just figured I'd let you
Welcome.
know who's popping in while we're going along.
TVJ probably is out doing TV things for football. It's football season, and he does a lot of that type of thing for college football. Go check out his channel, TVJ. You can't miss him. It's an easy name, tvj.com. No, I don't know what that is, Tony. So, do you want to put me? You want to put it? What do you think about that, Tony? Are you excited about what we're about to embark on?
I can't wait, Joe, because I could just sit back and relax while you spin everything up on AWS, and then I really don't have to do anything but config the phone. So I'm super stoked, and I am going to bring you to a presentation screen. So here we go.
No, I kind of wish. Oh, good. Your face is gonna be up there too, because I was worried that it was just gonna be me. And by the way, say hello in the chat if you do join. If you're watching this after the fact, feel free to comment, like, subscribe. You know, the whole thing, the YouTube stuff. So I'm trying to see, Tony, if this is gonna be big enough, or maybe if I should zoom in a little bit. That's probably That's probably okay.
I could also bring you up to full screen, bring your desktop up to full screen if you'd like me to.
I like seeing you on there, Tony.
Well, I'll tell you what. You start like this, and at one point, I'm going to want to go make a cup of coffee. I'll bring you up to full screen, come back with my coffee, and bring us back.
Cup of coffee. That New Jersey accent.
I forgot to crack the beer for the 15,000K celebration. Oh, well, coffee will have to do.
Do it at 20K.
There you go.
Save it. Okay, so if you've never seen this, this is the AWS console, Amazon Web Services. It is, when people talk about the cloud, this is what it is. You don't have to run it on AWS, but there is, if you go to the marketplace, there's a 3CX instance that you can easily fire up. So that's why I'm doing it here. So if we scroll down, we're going to launch the instance. I'm going to type 3CX. We're going to go over to Marketplace. And here it is, 3CX phone system. Disregard this 2 stars because I find it's pretty easy to do. And look, there's a free PBX instance. So we'll click Select. You can see that the software is actually free. It is license-based, but you get 4 simultaneous calls for free. So, which, if you're just doing this as a project or small business, you're probably fine with that. And then this is the price per hour for the EC2. EC2 is the actual virtual machine. So I'm going to just do it on a T2 Nano, or maybe I'll do a T3 Nano because it's a cent cheaper. if you're just doing a couple of calls, a couple of extensions, you're probably fine with that size. Were you going to ask a question, Tony? I heard you take a
I
breath.
was, yeah, but you kind of read my mind, which is kind of scary. But I was going to ask, like, what would you recommend as the minimum instance to set up? But I guess that's all relative on the type of volume you're going to do with the phone system.
Yeah, it is. I think 3CX recommends, I think it's an A medium or something, not a T, but it'll, I mean, it's been running fine. The one that I have set up is running fine. As I'm actually, I upgraded from a T2 nano, or sorry, a T3 nano to T3 micro, which went from a half a gig of RAM to a full gig of RAM. So you don't need much. I mean, this will run on a Raspberry Pi. In fact, there's an image, I think it's on the 3CX website, that you could put on a Raspberry Pi. So, and Tony's got several Raspberry Pi. In fact, the stream is going out. No, your RTMP server is on the Synology, right, Tony? It's not on the Raspberry
It's
Pi.
on the Synology, yeah.
The Synology.
Synology, yep. James asks, is that for outbound calls for free, or is extension to extension calls included?
It's so the calling part. I should clarify. Thanks, James. James is a phone guy, so he's gonna keep me honest here. It's for simultaneous calls. That's what the license supports. That includes extension to extension calling, I believe, but that doesn't include your per minute cost. You can tie any SIP trunker provider to it, but yeah, it doesn't include your per minute costs. So when I say it's free, that means it's just you can have. So really for a small, I would say less than 10 person setup. If you have 10 extensions, you might be okay. And James, have you ever done the Erlang calculation? Oh boy, I'm full screen. It's scary, Tony. So anyway, anything else, Tony, before we advance?
Go right ahead.
All right. So we are going to, I think I made this so big that I can't even maneuver here. Wow, I killed my screen. Can't get out of it. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Now it's too small. Okay. Now you can see the actual memory size and virtual CPU. So we're just going to do the, let's do T3 nano. See the networking speed. Configure instance details. You can adjust the stuff, but you probably won't need to right off the bat. They do recommend 30 gigabytes of storage on the root volume, which was surprising to me. Add some tags. This is just best practice, so we'll call this 3CX, whoops, 3CX test. And security groups. So you're going to get these built-in security groups. So this server, 3CX, is exposed on these ports to the internet. So it's meant to be, but that is something to keep in mind. And there's a pretty good firewall in 3CX. It's made for voice, and you can do like IP deny lists automatically. So if you have 5 logins, because as soon as you spin up a PBX, and this is true, James, I'm sure you can attest to this. You spin up a PBX, 5060 is the common port for voice, or 5061 for TLS. You are getting hammered from all over the world from people trying to do till fraud and hack your system. It's insane. It's immediate if you're watching your logs. So you really want, if you're going to put a phone system that is going to be internet facing, generally like an enterprise, you're going to use something called an SBC, session border controller, but in this case, this is a small phone system and all that. But you have to watch that. You have to be careful, put strong passwords. So anyway, that's my my soapbox here, but we're going to let it create this. It doesn't give you an SSH. It doesn't open up SSH, which is fine because you're not going to need SSH because you're going to do everything through the web GUI. So we'll do launch. We're going to say launch, and these are, you will need to create a key pair or use an existing key pair. We'll do a create key pair and we'll call it 3CX test. You will want to keep this handy in case you ever need it. Save it, put it to downloads. We're not going to need it right now though. Okay, so the instance is launching. If you've never messed with cloud in general, it's fun because not only is the instance launching, it's provisioning with the 3CX software and also subscribing and getting everything ready for you.
Joe, I have a question for you.
Yep.
So you've also played with on-premise PBXs, and now you're been playing around with 3CX. And so, in your opinion, well, not in your opinion, what do you personally like better? Do you have a preference?
I mean, I think it's like the right tool for the job, right? But I mean, there's things I like about both, and there's things I dislike, just like anything else. But I think the 3CX, what I like better about it is it establishes an FQDN, and it automatically gets a Let's Encrypt certificate. So it's HTTPS for the web. And when you are configuring phones, remote phones that are registering to the server, you don't have to have a single IP. Like, you don't necessarily need a static IP. It does its own stun server, which allows you to like have a dynamic IP because not everybody has that. But yeah, so I think it's a pretty slick interface. It's less fiddly. I'd say it's a little bit more user friendly, I found. But FreePBX, the modules and things you can do a lot more with it. And then we'd be remiss without talking about like GrandStream and some of the others, and Clearly IP
Right.
Clearly IP is more FreePBX, but right. I mean, there's still something to be said about hardware solutions too, right? I mean, which one do you have in your house?
I have the GrandStream UCM 6302.
And you've had good luck with that,
I've
right?
had a lot of good luck with it. Yeah, I had a free PBX box also on premise prior to the GrandStream, and my preference is I do like the GrandStream PBX. The free PBX served me well, but I just for me the user interface on the GrandStream UCM 6302 is just much easier. So
yeah, it's part of its personal preference,
100%. We have a question I'm going to pop on the screen for you from David Grishko.
Okay.
So, oops, sorry about that. Wrong one. There we go. There we go. David asks, if you can't reach the web portal, how can you recover without SSH, assuming something is broken?
Well, you can turn on SSH in the security group. The security group is basically like the cloud firewall. That's that's a part of AWS. So you could go and open up SSH, but you shouldn't need to with this particular build because it automatically starts a web server every time. So sure, if you like get locked out, I guess there would be a need you need to SSH in, but if that was the case, I would say just back up your 3CX build and make a snapshot, or make it so that if you had to blast it away, it'd probably be easier to just spin up a new instance than have to go figure out how to, because I don't even know when you SSH into it what the GUI is to be able to, or not the GUI, but how you actually go and make adjustments to it. So.
Hey, by the way, Joe, before you continue with the demo, I have to say I do like the background you got going on there. I like the brick.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's hit or miss, so please let us know what you think about this brick.
Absolutely. If you give it a thumbs up in the chat if you like the brick.
Yes, please. Okay, so I believe so if we open this address, if we copy this IP, by the way, if you're following along at home and if you are going to use this instance, the best thing to do would be to actually go over to Elastic IPs, and before you even get into this, Elastic IP is a static IP, basically. Assign a static IP to this. I'm not going to do that now. I'm just going to assume this is static because I'm not going to reboot this. But if you're going to keep this for a while, that might be the easier way to do it. Or you could use the stun server, meaning that FQDN will update and a phone will hit the FQDN, right, instead of having to find the dynamic IP. But for now, type that, and I think it's 5001. No? I guess I should have read the documentation, huh?
Yeah.
It's been a few weeks since I... Was it 5? Oh, that's the... It's, let me see. Oh, it is 5001. Let's see, is it running yet? Oops. Oh, maybe I have to force HTTP. Oh. Oh, it automatically went to HTTPS. It's odd. Wonder if it's not finished building yet.
How long does it usually take to provision, Joe?
Not too long. That's what's odd. Let's make sure we have... Yeah, 5001 for... let's just go to the straight IP, because maybe it's... It may not go to 5001 off the bat. Let's see. Oh, yeah, okay. And let's see, username is, I think it's admin. I believe the password is the instance ID. Is it maybe 3CX? There we go. So it's the username is 3CX and the password is the instance ID, which you can find here. Oops. Okay. Oh, let me make this bigger. So here's this is running on the server we just set up. You can restore from an existing backup config, upload config setup file, or create a new install. So get your free license key here. So you can go here and basically just create an account. You need your email, you need a name, if you have a name. That's a joke, Tony. You're supposed to laugh. Oh, you can do polls now? Oh, neat. Oh. I'm going to say, hey, Michael. I got one chat. I don't have many viewers. I haven't been live in a long time, so that's probably why. But anywho, so I've already done this, but you will need to create an account. And once you create an account, you'll log in and be brought to this page. It'll say subscription not active yet. You have to choose which one we're doing. So 3CX will host for you, or you can run it. By the way, this should be on premises. This is a bug of mine, Tony. And you're a teacher, so I feel like I should tell you. So when you have something that's like in a location, it's on premises. Because on premise, it means you're on subject. You're like on topic. On premises means you're physically in here. And 3CX on all of their documentation says on premise, which is the wrong way to say it, Tony. Yes, but everybody does it, so you could just disregard it. Oh, go ahead. I see it. Yeah, I was questioning what it is. Let's see. Does it tell us what it is? I'm guessing it's yeah, it's Linux of some kind, but I guess we can do this. Yeah, it looks like Linux. Doesn't tell me what the instance is yet. Root. Yeah, it doesn't tell me. But if we go to the 3CX website, that may...
Let me bring your screen up full. There we go.
Okay, so here, I'll make it a little bit bigger. So if we go to on-premises phone system. Oh, and they do, by the way, they do have an iOS and Android app.
Oh, cool. James Middendorf says he believes it's Debian.
Is it Debian?
That's
okay.
what
Thanks,
he
James.
believes so, yes. I'm going to come back to you.
3CX download. Let's see, is there a download page? There we go. I guess they don't make their download pages too easy here. But anyway, yeah, we'll go with Debian because it's a little bit hard to navigate, I guess, the site. So let's go back to this instance. Cool. So back to where we were on this page. So we're going to do self-host. You can see, by the way, you can run, Lightsail is like a way to easily spin up things, you know, within services, AWS services. We didn't use that, but you could. I think they have a Lightsail build. But self-host in the cloud. Do you have a backup that you would like to restore? No. Time zone, the Aleutian Islands. Eastern time. We speak German. Where's English? Oh, standard English. It's the top. Choose your extension length. We'll keep it 2 digits for now. So this is where you'll change your whatever domain. It'll be something.3cx or my3cx.com. So let's, oh, here we go. Oh, and then you can choose these different domains. So if you want different states, I think I ended up doing my3cx. Which one did I do? Oh, my3cx.us. That's what I did. I like that one. So let's do test 3cx AWS. And it's FQDN, so it has to be unique. Next. Hosting provider. Choose AWS. So this is a kind of a strange thing. It needs your access key and your secret access key to for this instance. You need to give it, basically allow it to go in and edit it. I don't think it needs it after it activates it, so I would suggest wiping it out. But this is where it talks about, it seems a little bit insecure to me, the way they have you do it. Because you're actually creating, oh yeah, it's Debian Buster. You're actually creating an access role, which I believe I have. I forgot about this step. You have to do this live. Tony, take me off the screen for 1 second. Let me just dive in. I don't want to inadvertently share the production account I have.
Sure thing.
You could put your own face on
No,
it.
I have you up there, man. You're the man of the hour right now. I'll put us both up. How's that? There we go.
There you go.
So,
There you go, Tony.
so Joe, let me ask you while you're looking or diving in, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate the setup process like that you're doing right now? And for someone who isn't too familiar, let's say, with using AWS, is there any documentation that they could follow, or is it just
There is a doc. Yeah, they do provide a doc.
okay?
Whoops. I mean, I guess it depends on where you where you want to host it. Like if you're pretty new to all this, you might just want to do like hosted by 3CX, or just run it. If you run it locally, then you don't have to. You could just basically have it. The only hole to the outside would be the SIP trunk, to your carrier.
Right.
But your phones could all be on the LAN. So there's other complications like the setup. But you said on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say like which is the easiest and which is the hardest on that scale?
1 being the easiest, 10 being the hardest.
I'd say this is probably a 5.
Okay. Even for somebody without any familiarity with like setting up AWS instances.
Well, if you use Lightsail, probably, because Lightsail makes it easier than, I'm kind of doing it at a little bit of a little bit more manual than you probably have to.
Right.
Tell us more about your truck, Tony.
Well, right now I'm living out of it as far as my my business. Not that I'm
Working.
not that I'm physically living out of it, but all my tools. If you guys saw that video that Joe and I did together when I was up in Connecticut, you saw all the pack out stuff that I had, the Milwaukee stuff, and everything you saw there is just living in my truck on the back seat and in the back bed, along with ladders and stuff like that. So that's all kind of tied into why I can't wait to get into the house, because where we're currently living, I just don't have room for any of that. So there's plenty of space in the new house in the garage. Then my truck could be used for work, but when I'm not working, it can go back to being my recreational pleasure vehicle.
So you're living out of your truck.
I'm not.
That's what
I'm not
heard.
sleeping in the truck, Joe. But I'm. The business is living out of the truck. Yes. So, yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, I think I'm good.
All right.
You probably will have to go into identity and access management in AWS and create yourself a user that generates an access key ID and secret access key with access to. They suggest administrator access. I think that's a little wide open. So you might want to I think it just needs access to EC2 because that's where it's living. But it gives access so that it can go in and configure the EC2 and subscribe it and give it the license and all that. And then after that, I would see if you can get rid of that. I forget what I did. I think I might have deleted it off the production one. But for now, just to get past this step, I just created this and I'll blast this away later. Yep. See, because I put that access key and ID in, it went in and it was able to find that this is the name of the instance that I created.
Okay.
Tony, so what do you think about that, Tony?
This is all you,
and
man.
we're going to choose the region. So I put it in Ohio.
I have the simple part. And watch me screw that up. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you're doing good switching.
All I have to do is config the phone and see if I can get a phone call to you. We just have to remember to enable that feature about the PBX, something with the PBX enables audio, remember?
Oh, delivers audio.
Yeah.
Yep. No machines necessary. Might be, should choose another region. That's interesting. Did I? Yeah, I think this has admin access. Let's go back to. I am in Ohio, right? Yeah, the instance is in Ohio. Oh, wait a second. No, it should find that instance. No machine types found. That's really strange. Let's edit.
You okay over there, buddy?
Yeah, getting kind of hungry. Trying to figure out what I'm going to order for dinner. Just ordering some Uber Eats on the side here. Hope everybody is doing 3CX box Ohio. Let's type this. I wonder if it needs the name. That was the key pair, right? Let's see if it finds it now.
Joe, is it okay if I bring your laptop screen full for a few?
Yeah, you gonna go get some coffee?
You, you read my mind. Yes, I'm going to make some coffee. Yes, sir. I'll be right back.
Okay. So why isn't this working? Machine name, test 3CX AWS. Let's try changing it to this. This machine name should be 1 to 62. The first character should be all the following is a lowercase letter. Test. Usually just goes in and finds it. I wonder if I screwed something up with the access key. It has admin access. It's the one we just used. Oh. Oh no, that's CodeCommit. What did I do here? Permissions. Should be able to get to that. Tony's out getting coffee. Let's go back one. Try this again. By the way, never share your secret access key like I just did or whatever. I'm going to be blasting that off, blasting that away. That's 3C. Oh, that's. Oh, okay. I see. I wonder if I need the instance ID there. Let me see. That may be the reason. See if it finds it now. No. Okay, let's try this. saying that it. It's really odd. Let's just see if it finds the other one that I have in my prod one. Anybody in the chat? Nope. Is this the right key pair for this instance? Yeah, 3CX test.
Okay, I'm back, buddy.
Oh, good.
Did you miss me?
I did.
I'm going to bring you back to the 3 up. There we go.
Let's take a look at their guide again.
What did I miss?
Programmatic. Oh, I wonder. No, programmatic access. It should. Or did I just give this console access? I wonder if that's the problem. No, it's because it found it. We're still dealing with why 3CX can't find the console password, signing certificates. You know what we're going to do, Tony? We're going to create a new user. 3CX Live. We'll call it 3CX Live. How about that? We're going to give it just programmatic access. We are going to give it administrator access. Create the user. So weird, Tony.
Well, we said we didn't know what was going to happen, right? Just keeping it casual and rolling with it.
Yeah. How the heck did I... Let's try the instance side. Well, let's try this again. Now that I made a new... If I don't put the key pair in there, does it still search and say it can't find it? I'm going to move this up to a 9. You asked me what the difficulty level was.
Well, I have to be honest with you. I had a much easier time configuring that GrandStream ATA HT802 than what you're doing going through with this. That device is pretty cool, though. That I think I told you that desk phone that you gave me that when I left your state last week, 2 weeks ago. I got that up and running. That is so cool.
Which phone?
The rotary phone.
When is the video on that coming out?
Oh, I don't know if I'm going to do a video on that. That's just,
Oh, no?
I don't know. Willie did a video on the ATAs, and if you look at YouTube then and Google getting a rotary phone, using your rotary phone in 2021, there's like tons of videos on it. But I just think it's cool. And I have a second. I have that one, and I have a wall phone rotary that I'm going to put on the second FX port. So that'd be pretty cool. This particular phone, though, must have been like an old business or an old hotel phone because it's got a huge headphone jack on it,
Yes.
right? I'll take the onus off of you for a second and flip over to it. So it's got a huge quarter inch headphone jack on it here, and then here it's got I'm not even sure what this is, but it's got a knob, and when you turn it, it actually activates the phone like it's like the same thing as lifting up the handset off the receiving part. So it's pretty interesting. But anyway, having a lot of fun with it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
You should do a test call.
Actually, I can't right now because the ATA is not plugged into the switch. Every port on the switch right now that I'm using here in the studio is being used up by decoders and stuff. So
Encoders, decoders.
yeah. But
I bet you can't wait to move into your house.
We'll do the test call from the A-Link over to this instance if we ever get it working.
Don't hold your breath.
Nah, I have faith in you.
That, let me just go CX, because maybe that's a bug in the 3CX thing. Let's go over here. That's really weird. Wonder why it doesn't, it's not finding it. We're in Ohio, right?
Oh.
US East 2. That's where this is built. It just doesn't want to find it. AMI name, AMI location. I almost wonder if I should start this process again, if it's some sort of bug in this, because I had this open before. I think I'm going to do that. Wonder if it's a bug in their portal. Let's try it again.
Okay. While you're doing that, I think I'll come full screen and I'll take a question from David.
Okay.
So, David asked 2 comments. First, he says not to go off topic, but he's thinking, so this entire setup that we're doing here tonight with the SRT versus StreamYard, what is the downside of StreamYard besides the cost? Great question. And really, StreamYard does make it easy. This is a lot of work to set this up. So I wouldn't say there's the downside to StreamYard. That's actually an advantage, right? To get 1080, I think on StreamYard, you do have to have a paid subscription. So I guess maybe a downside would be the free would be you're only getting 720. But for someone who's just needs to be up and running, like when I first started streaming last year, I didn't have any of this, and I just looked to StreamYard to get up and running and get my feet wet in the game. So that worked very well for me. But we're doing this tonight. We're testing this whole SRT thing, not for just the purpose of YouTube, but for like future things, other things, thinking out of the box. So there's other kinds of things brewing. So this is definitely, I think, overkill. I'm going to bring you back in on the 2 up for a second, Joe, just to concur. I mean, I think what we're doing tonight for just a YouTube stream is kind of above and beyond. If you just right, I mean,
oh yeah, yeah. I mean, StreamYard's great, by the way. I use it. I've used it, and I use it all the time, and I like it a lot. So but it makes things a lot simpler. It depends on what you're doing. Like, you do have to pay. I mean, we're using encoders, but well, I guess you would need an encoder to do what we're doing, because of the SRT. But if you were just doing, you could basically do what we're doing with a few Raspberry Pis, if you were on a budget, a couple of Raspberry Pis. So, right, Tony?
You could, and we did. We did test it this week, and actually, this stream tonight would have been done with the 2 Raspberry Pi decoders had the U-Ray boxes not shown up early. They were scheduled for delivery tomorrow. So,
Right.
Yeah. And like we said, we tested it out the other night, well over an hour, and not a blip. We had a test the night before that, and we were having all kinds of problems, but that had nothing to do with the Pi. That was more a bottleneck on my network. So when I realized what that bottleneck was, I just mitigated that. And the second night when we tested it, it was flawless. So.
You should explain what that bottleneck is, because I bet you that's a common problem.
Well, in the studio here, it's actually someone's home that I'm kind of using the room as a space.
They don't know it.
Who doesn't know it?
The people you're,
oh
you're,
yeah,
you're squatting.
They were they were actually, they had, to them, they would have never noticed the bottleneck. I mean, for what they're doing with the everyday streaming of Netflix and stuff like that. But it's an Edge Router X at the head end, and it was being powered by a PoE injector. And the PoE injector was one of the old original Ubiquiti UAP AC light injectors. So it was connecting the WAN port to the ISP at 10100. And when we started streaming with all these streams coming in and sending out to the YouTube channels, private streams, all the testing, and then with the people home streaming TVs and stuff like that and being on their phones, it was taking a toll on that poor little Edge router because of the 100 meg connection. So when I noticed that, I just replaced it with a newer injector, and it's been solid ever since. So, yep.
I actually have to create a key pair. That's interesting. I think this changed since the last time I did it, Tony.
So David,
navigate to the EC2.
So Dave, let me see if I can bring this up over the dual screen. I probably can. So David says, yeah, there we go. It seems like what you guys have is a lot more functional and is not bound of StreamYard's ways of doing things. So
True,
yes. Again, but is it overkill? I mean, there's other intent, other purposes in mind. Like I said earlier, so we're trying out all different things. Wouldn't you say, Joseph?
What do you think about that, Joe? Yeah, no, I agree. I mean, we're testing this for other purposes too. For other streaming. You guys know I do some streaming stuff on the side as well. So, it's good to know how some of this stuff works, because it's the right tool for the job. So if you need to use SRT, secure reliable transport versus EC2, it's very helpful to have a couple of encoders that can do that. Instances. So they're saying to go to, oops. This is the right corner. Select the data center. Okay. On the left, click on key pairs. Okay. Create key pair. Create, download.
I'm going to bring another comment up on the screen while you're figuring that out, Joe.
Okay.
So David asks, does QoS work on the Edge router, speaking of Edge routers, compared to what you can do on pfSense and OpenSense. So QoS on the edge router works. It's I don't have a lot of experience with pfSense, and I do have a little experience with OpenSense, and but I'm gonna just go out on a limb and say that it probably does not compare to what pfSense and OpenSense can do. I know that when I had it running on an Edge Router X, it was the little unit was taking quite a performance hit, but I would imagine pfSense has quite a bit more capabilities as far as shaping is concerned. What do you think, Joseph?
I wasn't listening. What was the question? I'm trying to figure out this problem.
David was asking about QoS on the Edge router as compared to pfSense OpenSense.
Well, I don't yet have a pfSense and OpenSense box, but soon too. So we will see. I'll get back to you. There might be some videos coming on that very soon too.
And David says he's been streaming twice a week for many years now using pfSense, and he gets 0 dropped frames with limiters in pfSense. And yeah, that's exactly, like I said, I don't have the experience that you have with it, David, but I would imagine that pfSense is going to outshine the Edge router big time. I mean, and you have experience with the Edge routers to a degree, right, Joe? So I mean,
oh yeah, I do like the Edge routers, but yeah, they're not as user friendly, I don't think, as pfSense or OpenSense. So I'm actually going to spin up a new instance as a T2 because I'm curious if 3CX, I don't think I used the T3 last time. I think I either used a T2 or a T3A. And I wonder if for some reason there's a bug in the 3CX portal where it can't find a T3 micro. Because it is odd, because this isn't the behavior that I saw before. So we'll use the 3C test. I acknowledge. Launch instance. We're launching a second.
I was going to say, you're spinning the whole thing up again?
Yeah, well, I'm keeping the other one running, but I'm just going to see if this is any different. I'm curious if using a T2 micro, because see, when I'm on this page, right, I should be able to find this instance.
A crazy, silly question, but does it have anything to do with the fact that you did not use an elastic IP?
No, it shouldn't.
Okay.
It shouldn't. Yeah. It should not. We already went through that. Yeah. It's commonly because you not enabled compute engine in this project, or you. What? I think I'm actually going to log out and log back in.
And Joe, also, if you don't want to keep plugging away at it, I mean, we don't have to. We said we were just going to go live and try to do it live, and sometimes this is what happens live. So, I mean, I don't want you. No. I don't want to feel the.
We're going to get it.
I don't want you to feel the pressure now.
That's okay. Let's see. Anybody saying hello? Oh, Alonzo, hello. Taro Cockrum, hello. Alonzo, did you guys post the equipment being used? You talking about the streaming equipment? It's mostly Raspberry Pis and these U-Ray encoders. If you look at Tony's channel, you'll probably, I don't know if Tony, if you posted a link to those. They're
I didn't post the link.
Chinese brand encoder.
But I'll put it up on the screen for a second while you're doing that.
Okay.
They can take a look at it. And I'll drop a link in the chat.
Okie dokie. Actually.
Might as well make it an affiliate link, right?
Yeah, what the hell?
Oops.
Use Tony's affiliate link.
Yeah, why not, right?
What's the phrase everybody says? Doesn't change your price, but it kicks a couple of bucks to the channel.
That's for sure. Hey, it really works, though. You know, I mean, what, I bought 4 6-terabyte Western Digital hard drives from proceeds that come in from support of the channel.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I bought, what else did I buy? Let me take a look back here. I bought the Raspberry Pi 4 that we were doing some testing with. I bought the, let's see, there's a couple other things I bought back there. So yeah, it really doesn't change the price, but it really does help out the channel. I know everybody says that, but that's the truth. So, all right, so link I dropped in the chat. Joe, do you have, well, actually, I'll pull it up here on YouTube. I'll look for it. I was going to say the link to the encoder that you're using, but I think I know which one it is. Let me look for it. So I think you are using, you said it was about 158 bucks, 159 bucks.
Yep.
So it's the Uray H.264 Live. Does it have the SDI in, or is it just HDMI in, the one you're using?
Just HDMI.
All right, so it's this one right here. Okay. And so the encoder's $154. I'll drop a link to that in the chat. There we go. And we'll go back to, let's see, 3. How you making out over there, bud?
Still chugging along. You can keep going on your thing.
So, and again, you guys, if you're joining us for the first time, or you joined late, I will be giving away this TP-Link TLR605 gigabit multi-WAN VPN router as the giveaway prize for the channel reaching 15,000 subscribers. The details to the giveaway will be coming out this week, and I'll probably keep the registration window open for about a week, and I'll announce it this week, probably in a YouTube short, and all the details will be there and where you can go to sign up and register and take a chance on winning this TLR605. Like I did say earlier, it is not a brand new router, but it's only been used here in my lab for a couple of videos that I did, and it's been in the box ever since. So I'll factory reset it and then ship it out to the winner.
Hey, you didn't sneeze on it or anything.
No, I didn't sneeze on it. No, sir. I'll sanitize.
Tony's a very.
I'll sanitize it too. I'll sanitize it too.
Oh, good.
So
let's see. We're going to create a role for it.
Great question. I'm going to bring up a question by David. David says, so these are basically basic encoders, yes, and decoders, yes. Do they have less latency than what you can do with OBS and low latency options? Well, I'm going to say this. I was testing sending OBS streams to the Pi decoder that I built, and just based on those tests, and even the tests that Joe and I did, I'm going to say yes. This is virtually latency free. I mean, it's like half a second, if that. So how about you, Joe? I mean, I don't use OBS all the time. I was just using it for testing, and I know you're trying to figure that out. But you have used OBS, so would you say that the decoders are better latency than the software encoder?
Yes, the hardware encoders are for sure. Yeah, you can get like half a second. In fact, Jay and I were doing some testing, Jay Shell,
He's back, by the way.
and oh, good.
Yeah.
Hey, Jay. And we were getting really sub-second, like almost WebRTC delay with SRT, versus you wouldn't necessarily get that with RTMP. And when Tony and I were testing with the L.L.C app, which is a free app on the mobile devices for iPhone specifically that we were testing, it was more than that. Because I mean, it's a software encoder. I mean, I guess it is using your hardware, but it seems to be a little bit longer delay versus the hardware that's in these things. That's literally all they're doing. It's a purpose-built box just for encoding, and they do RTMP. They'll do SRT, RTMP. They'll do. You can even run security camera. I think they do RTSP.
Yes.
So
yep. UDP.
They do all kinds of things.
HTTP. HLS. Yeah.
Got to take a pee.
So TVJ Jay says yes, David. They do. They are less than OBS. David asks, Jay, are these things similar to what TV stations use? What bitrate do you guys stream back to the station for broadcast? So Jay, feel free to engage. I wish I had an extra port open on my ATEM. I would have you send an SRT stream over to us and join the Zoom call and become part of the live stream. But
just pull out your fancy background.
Yeah, there you go. But definitely, we should do something like this together with Jay in the future too. And Jay also asked, he's back. What did he miss? And we've been trying to get a 3CX phone system spun up, and so we can try to connect a remote phone to it. And that's kind of where we've been. So, and talking about this and that. So welcome back, Jay.
Yeah, I'm trying. I am working on a couple of bugs here. I think it's a bug. It may be a bug in the actual 3CX dashboard. So that's what we are troubleshooting now. I'm actually spinning up an instance in US East 1, Northern Virginia at the moment to see if, because the second instance I spun up in Ohio didn't work.
So let me ask
either for this.
Let me ask you this, Joe. I know you did this once before, right? For an actual production system.
Yeah, it didn't have this
problem. And you didn't have this problem. Okay.
No. Interesting, right?
Well, we're live. That's why. So.
We're live.
We're live. Right. And Jay says, in response to David's question, no, these are not like our backpacks, as they have multiple bonded connections. And that's a whole nother topic.
Tony knows all about it lately.
Well, I'm learning a lot, hanging out with you and chatting with Jay on a regular basis. Yes, and I'm enjoying every minute of it. And Jay says we do variable bitrate and variable delay to make sure the signal gets through. Thank you, Jay. Let me see if I can.
If you don't, make sure to check out Jay's channel.
Yes, let me put Jay's channel up in the chat.
No, where's Bob Carpenter these days?
Don't know.
It's very strange. Maybe it's something stupid. I feel like maybe.
There you go. TVJ's channel in the chat. Check him out. David says, good to know. I'm not in the broadcast industry in the traditional sense, but I am curious about the technicalities.
I'm curious too. That's why we pick Jay's brain all the time.
And me as well. David, are you streaming? You're doing live streaming with the church. Is that it? And what are you using as a switcher? I'm curious.
Oh man, my face looks funny when I'm contorting my.
We've been going, Joe, for an hour and 20 minutes.
Yeah, I want to try one more thing. I mean, I suppose I could show the 3CX system I have up.
And we have
we could show that.
And yeah, and I have the A-Link is connected to it on account number 2, so we could show that it does connect and make a call.
It does work, I promise.
It does, yay. Okay, let's see. See, Joe, keeping it casual. All right. Yes, David says with the church, it's a basic setup with a 4K 810 mixer and OBS for the graphics. Gotcha. Do you send the stream, besides sending it out live, do you send it out to within the church facility? Like, I know there's a church here where I live that we just did some networking for, and they have an annex room and like an overflow room, so that the stream is not only going out live to the content delivery network, but it's also being streamed internally, so that when the sanctuary gets filled up, it's being streamed out to an overflow room on large screen TVs.
What's a cry room?
A cry room?
Yeah, I thought you mentioned there was a cry room or something.
No, I didn't mention it just now, but I remember growing up and going to church on Sundays. There definitely was a cry room sectioned off in the church for mamas to go with their newborns and stuff and their youngins.
Oh, for the kids.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm guessing that's what you were asking, but let's see.
Yeah, that is what I was asking.
All right, so David says, I also just purchased an A10 Mini Pro for portable mixing and recording. Awesome. Jay says, Joe was right earlier. I was doing a football game, and I am just now walking to the car. Oh, wow.
Wow, so he's getting ready to get on our stream here.
David says,
good night, Alonzo. Alonzo says good night.
Bye, Alonzo. Thanks for joining. David says, yes, I also have HDMI over layer 2 networking broadcast. I can add as many TV endpoints as I want. Are you using the Ori systems or just some other HDMI to layer 2 converter? Just curious. Again, it's not always about us sharing what we do. It's great to have feedback and hear what others are doing.
Oh, you know what? Wait a second.
Did you have
I might have had an epiphany.
Oh, it's so funny, Joe, because I turned my mic off to get the water, and what you didn't hear was me saying, did you have an epiphany just now? And then you just repeated that. It's scary, man.
Well, I know you. I heard you at the Zoom call.
Oh, that's right. I forgot all about the back channel.
Tony thinks there's an apparition amongst us here.
Oh my God, that's right. Hey, look, man.
It's like, I just muted the mic and I had no idea you said that. That's awesome.
I was going to say, did you read my lips? Duh, I forgot about the back channel.
Yeah, I did. I think I might know what the problem is here. Let me try one more thing before you.
Let's see. Jay says, speaking of 3CX, the university I work for just converted to it last year. And they're happy, Jay? That was
I like it.
That was a question, Jay. That was not.
Or else.
Yeah.
You do have that teacher voice.
Yeah, So, okay. And then David Grishko says he's using the JTech Digital Pro AV. Interesting. I'm going to look that up. Okay.
Enter management console credentials. I'm wondering if I have to do the set this up first. We detected your public IP. Yes.
Joe, what about
Yes.
is there any firewall rules that have to be, allowed to pass for 3CX to CAWS?
No.
No? Okay.
No, but I think I figured out what the problem is.
All right, I'm going to ask David if this is the setup that he's got. The JTech Digital. I know you said yours was Pro, but this is what came up when I searched that. HDMI extender 1080p by single Cat 5e, Cat 6, Cat 7 cable up to 200 feet. 55.69 for the pair. I'll put a link to this down in the description. It's not an Amazon affiliate link, but I'll share it with everybody.
Doesn't change your price, but it kicks a couple bucks to the channel.
Ay, ay, ay. All right. Thank you for sharing that, David.
Yeah. So I think what I'm going to do, if this works, Tony, I mean, since there's only like a couple people on, and these are all friends of ours here, I think I may start from scratch and go through it again. That way I can actually, I'm going to get another drink here. That way I can cut this up, and I can use the demo portion as a separate video.
Perfect. Let me. There we go.
Well, not yet. Give me a minute or two, because it's processing. I want to make sure it actually works.
No worries.
What the hell was that?
My iPad just said a news station alert has arrived.
What was the news station alert?
I have no idea. It's off the screen already.
Oh.
Hey, did you know that Jay does voiceover?
I didn't. Are we going to call in? We should call in.
Yes. And I thought he did a very good job.
Okay, so I'll need just another minute or so, Tony. Instance settings, we're going to terminate these. Delete.
By the way, we have 8 votes on the poll. I'm going to end it. We have 8 votes. I don't know out of how many, but people were here over the hour and 29 minutes. But we have 100%, Joseph, that people like the background. And that doesn't...
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously. And that doesn't surprise me. And I think they would tell us.
But is it too not tech-like?
Well, in your controlling set, your other set, wasn't there a brick wall behind you that the big TV was on? Or no? I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's something that I guess maybe that's why to me it seems so natural, because maybe it's just something that I associate when I see you on camera, because that's what I've been used to seeing you on camera with. Obviously with
That's true.
Other stuff in the background, but yeah.
That's true. Okay. So I think we're good. I think we're good.
So are you trying to tell me what we just spent an hour and 15 minutes on, you just had an epiphany and set up in 5 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah, well, this is the definition of keeping it casual, Tony.
Oh, 100%. And TVJ says it does seem very natural for him. So there you go, Joe.
The brick?
Brick. Now you got
She's a brick.
I was just going to say, you got to change your theme
House.
song now to Brick House. Ay, ay, ay.
Okay, so I think if we come back to
The 3 up.
yeah, actually we could yeah we'll all right we'll start at this. We'll go to the EC2 dashboard and we'll start here. Okay, so we're gonna set up a 3CX phone system on AWS in the cloud. And then eventually we're going to register Tony's IP phone to it. And Tony's IP phone is sitting in North Carolina and I'm sitting in Connecticut. So let's do that. So we're in the AWS console. We're going to go over to launch instance. And we are going to, oh, Tony was showing the phone. Thank you, Tony.
Just to prove.
Just to show it's really there.
Just to show it's really here.
Hold on 1 second. We may have to start again, Tony.
I'm surprised people are still sticking with us.
You wanted to do casual.
This is casual. This is as casual as it gets for two guys who test casual out, being casual.
Test their khakis out and yeah, we only have 4 viewers, so and it's probably half of them are us. So
yeah. we had more. I don't know about your channel, but I think 15 at one point for a good while.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but it is a Saturday night, and we've been going for an hour and a half. So I mean, hey, it is what it is. Are you having fun?
It's all good. Oh yeah.
So I'm having fun. So that's all that matters. And I hope the people that are sticking with us.
I'm just happy TVJ is here.
Yes.
I really wish you would get him on the stream, Tony. I mean, you have your decoder.
I do. I have the Pi, Joe. It's just I don't have another space.
You have 8 inputs going into your...
You don't understand. It's not that. It's... Let me see. I don't have another available electrical.
What is it?
Yeah, it's that 2-foot-long Doogie's hot dog. I don't have another electrical outlet. I have 3 power strips and 1, 2, 3 wall outlets all full. I don't have another available port on the switch. Yes, I could probably pull out the overhead camera on the ATEM. But that might give me another electrical outlet, but that's still not going to give me a port on the switch to bring the Pi decoder online. So. And Jay's driving. He's not even home. So. But
He's not home yet?
No, but we will do this.
Jay, when you get home, just let us know and Tony's going to patch you in. No, you know what I could do, Tony?
You could have him stream to you. And then
yeah, I could stream. Let me think about this.
Continue with the 3CX. And let me think about this here.
Well, because I could have him stream to my decoder, and then I could encode it,
right,
re-encode it, and send it down this channel that I'm sending my computer on.
No, hold on. Let me think. Let me think about this. Well, hold on. Let me see what I.
All right, you could just put me in the screen up if that's easier for you.
Okay.
If you want to, because I see smoke coming out of your head. I don't want to.
I'll just put your PC up. There you go.
Well, I got to introduce it.
Okay, there you go.
Okay, then get ready to switch to my screen, Tony.
I'm ready.
All right. Okay, here we go. Today we are showing how to set up 3CX phone system on AWS in the cloud and then connect an IP phone. Tony's on with us. He's down in North Carolina. I'm in Connecticut, and the cloud is in the cloud. It's everywhere. It's all around us. So we'll jump in. I'm going to show you how to set it up right now. Okay, so here's the AWS console. We are in the EC2. EC2 are the instances that you can spin up, virtual instances. We're going to go to Launch Instance. And then here we're going to type 3CX. We're going to go over to AWS Marketplace and hit Select. Now you can see the software price is free. There is a cost for 3CX if you go over 4 simultaneous calls. If you're under 4 simultaneous calls, which would probably power an office up to 10 people, so if you're just using this for your home lab, it will likely remain free for you. And then just the cost of the instance itself per hour, which you can see if you use like a T3 or T2 micro or nano. It's pretty cheap. The nano will get you a couple of calls and a couple of extensions. That's the smallest one. So I'm going to use a T3 nano for today, but you could use a micro or small, or I think the recommended is the A group of instance type from the company, but these should work just fine. So let's continue. So let's use the T3 Nano. Configure instance details. You can leave all this as is for now. Now storage. We're going to actually change this to 30 gigabytes. That's what the company recommends. And we'll do review and launch. Okay, click launch. It's going to ask to set up your key pair. I already have a key pair I'll use, or you can create a new one. I'm going to acknowledge that's okay. Launch instances. So now it's launching the instance, and it's also activating the subscription to 3CX. Verifying entitlement, you can see all that. And once this is done, it'll bring us to a screen momentarily where we can see the IP address of the instance. So if I click here, I'll be able to go to that instance. Here it is. Click in, and this is a dynamic IP that automatically gets assigned, and it gets assigned a DNS entry here, publicly routable. And normally what you would do, if you wanted this to have a static IP, you'd go over to Elastic IPs, and you would associate Elastic IP with this instance before you move on. I'm not going to do that now just for time's sake, but just know that you could associate an Elastic IP. I suggest it to just make your life easier for this particular project. So the next thing we are going to do is open this address. I'm going to copy the IP, open up a new tab, paste it here, and we're going to want to make sure it's HTTP, not HTTPS. Eventually we will use an SSL certificate. The username is 3CX. Now the password is actually the instance ID. So we're going to copy this instance ID. We're going to go back over here, paste it in the password, and hit sign in. We're not going to save. Okay, so let me blow this up a little bit. We are going to create a new install of 3CX. So this is the 3CX installer. And we need a license key. So you can get a free license key here, which I have already made a new account. See here, and here's my license key. And my domain is going to be test3cxaws.my3x.us. So I'm going to copy this, click back over here, and paste it. Once I've pasted, I'm going to click next. Now it's going to want my username and password of the account that I created here. So you can see my username, my name. So my username is actually info@cajolingtech.com. By the way, this is a temporary account. And my password is test 3CX stream ! And we're going to paste that twice. Like I said, this will be blasted out after this video, so no need to try to hack me. My public IP is 3.144.169.5. Like I said, you'll want to make this an elastic IP, a static IP, but I'm going to just make believe it is for today. We're going to say it's a public. And here's the ports, the standard ports that it will use. You can just keep this as is. We'll click next. It's saying what's the default network adapter. This is the internal adapter. Keep that in. Okay, and now it's going to create the FQDN certificates. It actually reaches out to Let's Encrypt, gets an SSL certificate. So it makes it really easy to set up. You can see the progress here, waiting for the activation.
So that seemed so straightforward, Joe. What was the snag? What was the holdup before? What was happening that it wasn't coming together?
Yeah, well, if you want to put us two up, because this will take a minute or two. Basically, when we did this before and we were testing, I was actually in this portal thinking that I had to click self-host in the cloud and go forward and give it an access ID and secret access ID. And I remembered that I actually don't have to do that. It's a lot easier. So all I need to do is after I create an account, I just need to copy this and put it into the web, and the system moves forward without having to go through here and go through these prompts and give special admin access to AWS and all that. So,
Gotcha.
so it's a lot more straightforward. So now all we're doing is waiting for that FQDN to activate. Oh, Mac Telecom. Hey, Mac Telecom, how are you? And DJ Ware. Oh, you're live streaming as well. Glad to see you back. Yeah, thanks for joining the stream. We are setting up a 3CX instance on AWS, 3CX PBX, having a little bit of fun.
Yep.
And
Anything
Tony
goes
has an
live.
IP phone. That's right. We're doing it live.
Anything goes live.
And I'm actually going to use a portion of this as a video separately, I think, Tony. I'll probably cut this part out. But yeah, Tony's got an IP phone sitting in North Carolina that he's going to register to this. Okay, I think we'll go back to, you know how Lon Seidman does it? He like goes live, he records everything, and then he takes it and cuts it up.
Yep.
Saves a lot of time.
I have the whole stream recording too, to an SSD.
Oh, good. I might have to steal that from you.
There you go.
Okay, we're going to go back to Corporate Joe. All right, so it has completed, and now we're going to go back to the screen share, and I'll show you the next question. Thanks, Tony.
You're welcome, Joseph.
So now we're going to go back to the screen share. It's completed, and we're going to show you the next question here. It's going to ask, what digits, or how many digits do you want your extension? I'm going to do 2 digits. Admin email, we'll put info@cajolingtech.com. United States, and we will go to Eastern Time. We'll do extension number, let's do extension number 90. We'll change this to not my formal legal name. This is the operator extension, info@cajolingtech.com. Oops. And voicemail. So go next. Countries that made calls to. I suggest limiting this unless you are often making international calls. Toll fraud is real, and people like to hack PBXs and make all kinds of crazy calls around the world. So if you're only doing calls to North America or somewhere else, you know, you're in Europe and you think you're only going to call Europe, then just limit it down to that. So I'm going to leave it on North America. Actually, if I do a drop down, does it give me? Oh, okay, so it even will specify countries in North America. So I'm just going to leave it US and Canada now. Canada for Mac Telecom.
Mm-hmm.
And Bob Carpenter. English voice prompts. And registration details. So we'll call this Cajoling Technologies, L.L.C. Reseller. And we'll click Finish. Now it's creating the PBX database and all this. This is a lot easier than we were testing it, huh, Tony?
Awesome.
When I was doing the wrong process.
For sure. But I'm glad we got it. I'm glad you got it.
Yeah, what I like about 3CX is that it gives you an FQDN and it gets you the certificate. You'll see it'll turn into a, it'll get, once we get the FQDN, I'll punch that into the web browser and that's where we'll log in. We will no longer log in through the IP address.
Gotcha.
Which is pretty darn cool. And there's also, oh, here we go. So here's the FQDN. So let's click there, and here we are.
Yay! I wish I had Rodecaster Pro so I can give you an applause.
So we're gonna copy this password so I don't have to type it again. Paste it here, and we're gonna do info@cajolingtech.com, and it says install the app. Now another cool thing, Tony, is when you install the iOS or Android app and you create a new extension. First of all, this will bring you to the install page, but when you create a new extension and you want to provision that on the softphone app on the phone, you can scan the QR code on the extension page and it'll just provision the extension on the softphone. It's pretty slick.
That's awesome. Yeah, GrandStream has the same feature with their Wave app as well. Yep.
And they do? Oh, cool.
Yes.
Awesome.
Yeah, pretty cool.
Very cool. Okay, so this is the main dashboard of 3CX. We are up and running. Looks like we have a whole bunch of updates. Hot fixes, SIP trunks. That's just telling me a bunch of things. So if I guess the next step would be to either create extensions or connect a SIP trunk. So let's actually create an extension because I'm not sure I'm going to do a SIP trunk at this time. We'll see. Let's add an extension for Tony. Tony is going to be extension 91. Tony Sparaldi. And Tony, we're going to just do Tony. We'll save that. So if we go over to phone provisioning, we should be able to, first of all, we're going to change this to that. Now I'm going to send this over. Actually, Tony, can you read this from the screen if I blow this up?
No, just send it to me over Signal.
Well, it's a little hard because I'm screen sharing.
Okay. All right.
Can you read it?
Maybe if I bring it full screen, let me see.
Oh, you're on the 7-inch.
Yeah, I got the 7-inch field.
The little monitor.
Yeah. Okay, you want to just tell me the information and I'll punch it in to the Yay link?
Yes.
All right, hold on. And I could actually show it, right? Because you're going to blow it away.
Yeah, I'm going to blow all this away.
All right.
So please don't hack me.
All right. So there's the Yay link on the screen. I'm going to use account 3 because accounts 1 and 2 are already registered actually to 2 different PBXs. So we're going to go ahead and make account 3 enabled. And then just for the label, you said what? I was 91. And then for the name, I'm just going to put in Tony. And then for the register name, this is the actual, Yay link calls it register name. Other PBXs will call it authentication ID. What is that information, Joe?
That is capital I, 7.
Right.
F, capital F.
Right.
Lowercase t.
Go ahead.
I-N, lowercase. Capital D, capital S, 8, capital B.
Capital
I only
B.
gave you one F, right? Capital B is in boy.
Yeah, let me just double check. Gotta put my glasses on.
Oh, those glasses.
One, you can't see me though. 1 F, lowercase T-I-N, capital D, capital S, capital B, 8, and then capital B. Yep.
It's I7
Yeah, no, I
and then
got
a
that.
capital F.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I got all that. And the username is going to be the extension number. And what is the password you set up?
Capital Z,
Right?
lowercase n,
Yep.
0, capital S, capital I, capital S, aka sis, lowercase z, lowercase q, lowercase w.
Okay. Well, let's go ahead, go down and confirm. And as long as I didn't type that password in with my, mistype it with my fat fingers, we should get a successful registration. So we'll say invalid value. There we go. So, oh, you know what? I didn't put the SIP server in. What's the
SIP
FQDN?
server is test 3 CXAWS dot my3cx.us.
Okay, test 3 cxaws.my3cx.us.
Yep,
And we're leaving the port as 5060, correct?
correct.
Here we go. Okay, and it says register failed. Let's see. Enabled
What?
91. Tony, register name. I'm going to read that back to you. Hold on, let me just blow it up a little bit. So, capital I, 7, capital F, lowercase TIN, capital D, capital S, the number 8, capital B.
Yep.
And then let's just do the password one more time, Joe. Tell it to me.
Capital Z,
Yep.
lowercase n,
N as in Nancy.
0, n as in Nancy,
Okay.
0, capital S, capital I, capital S, lowercase z,
Wait, two S's? SISS?
SISS, yes.
Okay.
Lowercase z, lowercase q, lowercase w.
Yeah, I think we missed the N and the second capital S. I think we should be okay now.
Okay.
And it still says register failed. So this time I know we got everything correct going here.
Oh, wait a second. Looks like there's a firewall check. Could you click back over to my screen for a second?
Absolutely. And
So it looks like before we could register this phone, I have to do this firewall check. There's a big red mark. So let's run the firewall check. Let's see if it'll allow phone extensions to register, phones to register after that.
that is so funny. Like, yeah,
Look at all these ports it's testing.
this is the simple part. Register failed.
Yeah. Oh, look at all these ports it's testing.
Wow. Now, when you
I think
set
it's
up,
done.
when you set it up last time, did you have to go through that? Do you remember?
Yeah, I think I did.
Okay, so let's try and see if we can get a confirmation this time. And it still says register failed.
Okay, let's see what the problem was. Because I can actually go into the logs here.
Does it show a failed log?
Yep. So if you want to go into show my screen. Yep.
Yep, we're there.
So Tony's trying to register the phone and we are failing. So here is actually I don't know that I want to show all this, but I'll show you this live stream but in the follow-up video. But look, yeah, so this is failing because I just saw it. Where'd it go? It said, oh, right here. Credentials don't match. Check authorization ID and password. Match the ones in extension settings. How about ID Tony, password Tony123? Is that easy enough? All lowercase. And I'm missing the minimum password requirement. So let's see if it works. Yep. Tony123.
Okay. And you know what? I'm going to do that one more time just to make certain.
Haste makes waste.
Change your password. Chrome found the password. And it still says register failed, Joe. So at first I thought, well, maybe I did put the credentials in incorrectly, but I did not mistype those. And let me just SIP server test 3 cx aws dot my3cx.us.
Yeah, I think. Well, let me. I think it might be complaining because it doesn't like this password that I set. So let me do your full name, and let me do test 123 Smeraldi. Let me make sure I typed that right. Test 123 Smeraldi. Let's see if it complains about that. It's still complaining. Okay, what does it want? 10 characters, 1 lowercase, 1 uppercase, and 1 digit. Oh, okay. So let's do capital T. Let's see if it likes that. Okay, it likes that. So,
All right. Now,
this is what it is.
before we try again, before you give me the credentials, what is the threshold for failed log attempts? We might have hit the limit.
No, I don't think we hit the limit yet.
Okay.
I think it's like 10 or 20 or something. I bump them down to 5 before it gets deny list. So the ID is capital T, Tony Smeraldi 123.
All right. So capital T, everything else lowercase.
Yep.
Okay. Tony Smeraldi 123. Let's get the password in there now. What do you got for a password?
Capital T, test 123 Smeraldi.
Lowercase s on Smeraldi.
Yep.
Okay. Here we go. Drum roll, please. Register failed, Joseph.
Okay, I think I know what your problem is. And what it is I think you need to put, I think the register name and username need to be switched.
Hold on. I'm gonna take this off screen for a second because I'm gonna check.
Just switch them.
All right. I will switch it for you because you're asking me to, but that's not the way it's set up on the other 3CX on account 2.
Oh, really? For the
Yes.
A-Link?
Yep. Yes, sir.
Oh,
The register
really?
name is whatever it is, and the username is the extension number. I don't want to show it because it'll give away the actual,
You have it. Okay, so you actually have it up. Okay. All right. Well, then maybe that's not it.
So I didn't think so, but I'll try it if you want me to. But I doubt it.
Oh, you know what? I know what the problem is. But I'm going to blame it on you.
We had this problem.
I know what the problem is.
We had this problem last week when we tried registering.
All right, you watching where I am?
I'm watching, yep. But I can't see it, but I'm watching.
Okay, so I am gonna go over here. Okay, ready? Corporate Joe.
All right, what are we doing?
So after you do the firewall check, no, go back to me, Tony.
I'm sorry. I thought we were going back to. There we go. Hold on. There you go.
No, my screen.
Okay. There we go. You said go back to you.
Tony wanted a casual stream for everybody out there, so this is casual.
That's what they're getting.
Okay. So after you do the firewall check, you have to click into the extension. And if you have remote extensions registering, you have to click on Options and click Disallow use of extension outside the LAN, the local area network. We have to uncheck this to allow it because Tony is registering from the outside. And frankly, if it's in a cloud PBX, probably that's the case for all your extensions, unless you're on, you have a VPN into your cloud hosting provider. So we're going to click OK. And since Tony has already put in his username and password, I suspect his phone may automatically register.
Well, we're going to find out. Let me confirm. You know what? I think we ran into this same thing last week too, when we were actually setting up the real extension.
Yeah, it's a little checkbox that, yep, there it is.
There it is. We're
Turn
sitting
green.
Registered status right there. Okay, so I
Yep.
feel better.
So and then if I go to my dashboard, I can see extensions up 1 out of 2. And you also see that you have 4 call paths that are available.
All right, and let me show your PC. Is that what we're looking at?
That's what we're supposed to look at here.
There we go.
All right, so on this dashboard, you can see now the extension 1 out of 2 is up, and number of call paths, obviously 0 out of 4, but you do have this free version, you have 4 call paths. You can see. You can see our disk usage, memory usage, CPU usage. I noticed that the RAM is kind of the high one. We're on the smallest instance you can basically get. So, Tony, you're registered. So now Tony essentially could, if I had a second extension with a second phone here, he could call it. I don't have a SIP trunk set up yet, but this is where you would set up the SIP trunk. You would get your carrier trunk from wherever. Willie recommends Telnix. I recommend Amazon Chime voice connector. Other people recommend others. But if I go to here and I type in United States or US, I can actually choose Amazon Chime voice connector. I wonder, oh, here's Telnix is in here as well. Which one do you use, Tony? You use FlowRoute?
FlowRoute, yep.
Yep, FlowRoute's in here. So we'll just choose Amazon Chime voice connector, and we're just going to do a test. For now, I'll show you what that looks like. So you would put in your FQDN right here that voice connector gives you, put in your outbound proxy, same thing. And I do suggest turning these to auto discovery, which is a thing I figured out, Tony, because if you don't change them to auto discovery, because these are FQDNs from some of these carriers, when the carrier changes their IPs behind the FQDN, if you don't do auto discovery, 3CX doesn't seem to pull the DNS for the new records.
So it doesn't auto update.
Right. So what happened was I couldn't make calls one day, and I said, "Oh, what the?" So I did some reading on the forums, and it said turn on auto discovery, and that fixed it right away because it went out and it's basically querying those DNS records.
Gotcha.
So yeah, so that's pretty much it. And once you have the SIP trunk up and running, you could create an inbound route. So if you have a DID, a phone number associated with your trunk, you could put that here. So when that call gets that number gets called, you could say go to a particular extension or go to voicemail. Outbound route, same thing. You can say if someone dials a 10-digit phone number, we'll call this test, send it out. If we had a SIP trunk here, I would be able to select it and we could send it out, the SIP trunk. So you create your inbound rules, your outbound rules after you set up your SIP trunk with your carrier. And then when you dial from an extension from like Tony's phone, he would be able to do that. Now, one thing that we noticed, Tony's ISP versus my ISP, Tony's ISP for some reason won't allow the audio, he can sort of register and make a call, but the audio won't come through. Versus on my ISP, I can do it without making this change. But if you go to options and scroll down to the bottom, PBX delivers audio. We had to turn this on for Tony's extensions. So you might have to do that if you register an extension, you get everything set up, and then for some reason it's not ringing when you dial in, or when you dial out, it's just not connecting and you're getting dead air. Try doing PBX delivers audio, and that should fix the problem.
Very cool. So, Joe, we can't.
So, do we have any questions? Oh, go ahead.
We're not doing a call because we don't have the trunk set up, but we could do a call on the other system. You know, I mean, from the real 3CX system that we have in production. I don't know, because you're using your phone for the back channel. So, do you have an extension there to show that it's coming
I do, but I will have to go off camera, but I do.
Okay.
Or I guess you could just call and it'll ring on the phone.
Yeah, I'll just do that.
Yeah, go ahead and call.
I'm gonna switch
And this
over.
is going up to our production server. So Tony's on Zoom right here. That's how we're doing this back channel.
And you were what? Oh, I know. Yeah. I forgot your other extension.
Now all my phones are ringing here. And you can see Tony Smeraldi is calling me. And this is ringing on the Softphone 3CX app.
Cool.
Okay. And SB says, this is great. Thank you both. Uh-oh, where'd Tony go?
Hold on. I'm coming back. There we go. Oh, thank you.
Thirds. Huh?
I'm glad he stuck in there to appreciate the effort.
Yeah, this is where it's a 6-hour stream of figuring out how we did something. 1 week ago we did this and it was flawless, but we forgot all the things we did. Mostly me. I can't blame much of this on you, Tony.
No, I could honestly say, I look, if I can't type in the username and password and authentication code, then I have no business being in tech. But
I should have just kept that going.
Oh my God. So, and you know what? When we did this last week, I remember we ran into the same thing, and I was like, and then that feature that you mentioned that had to be disabled for the remote outside calls extensions, but I just didn't remember, and apparently you didn't either. But
well, this is why when you do something, you really should document it, because a week later, especially in IT, a week later, you totally forget what the heck you did.
Right, 100%. It's funny because David says Tony might have symmetric NAT. Sometimes that causes, but yeah, no, we figured out what was going on and we got it to register. But let's see, what else, Joe? That was good.
What else did we want to talk about? Yeah, that was fun. I mean, you guys got to come along. For those who are watching or watching on the replay, you got to basically just watch us, fumble along. But it was fun. I don't know if I'll leave this up. You think you're going to leave this one up, this stream?
Yeah, why not? Why not? It's what we did live, right?
Live. Yeah, I think what I'm going to do is take the footage,
make a video
from you. Yeah, actually, I may just edit it right on YouTube.
Oh, it'd be.
Yeah, you can do the editing.
It'd be so much easier if I sent you the file. I'll just drop it in our box on Synology, and then you can edit it up in your software. So the YouTube editor is clunky. I think so.
Yeah, that's true. Because we did talk in between it, but I think if I could just cut it down to a few minutes.
But anyway, this was fun. So thank you, Joe, for going through all that and staying casual, as we say. No, seriously, it was a lot of fun, and this is what we do when we test things offline, right? So we just wanted to try to bring our offline characters to online and just not be so worried and corporate like and planned out. So I appreciate that, and I had a good time. And again, I want to remind everybody that there will be a giveaway announced this week as a YouTube short for this channel, my channel, reaching 15,000 subscribers. We're like 10 or 12 away at this point, so hopefully we'll cross that overnight, and tomorrow will be the day. So yeah, we'll be giving away that TP Link TLR605 multi gigabit multi-WAN router, and as part of the giveaway. And that's it, really. Joe, anything you want to add?
I was just thinking, where's Jay? Shell. I thought we were bringing Jay on.
All right, so let me comment on that. So while you went full screen, I was jockeying around here. I freed up a port on my ATEM. I freed up a port on my switch. I was going to trying to free up, figure out where I was going to get power from. And Jay had commented that he's on his way home, but when he goes home, he's going to a haunted house party. So
Oh, come on, Jay.
I just kind of put the brakes on trying to figure out how to bring him into the stream. But we will definitely do that. We will definitely get a three-way stream going.
Why doesn't Jay just use the lyrics from his car?
So, hey, I guess he could. But you know what, Joe? We're going here for 2 hours and 12 minutes. So, and actually, honestly, I'm down to one viewer. I don't know what you have, but I think it's probably time to
I'm
wrap
up
it
to
up.
5.
Are you really?
Yeah, this is the most viewers I've had all night.
Well, I tell you what, I'll end my stream and I'll keep the RTMP server going, and you can keep the stream going on controlling and have a blast over there.
Will you still bring Jay in?
No, you could bring Jay in.
Oh, I gotta switch it all.
You have a decoder.
All right, we won't do it. Yeah, that's okay.
No, actually, in all seriousness, this was fun. And Zach brings up a good point right here. I'm going to bring his comment up on the screen. Zach says, it was fun. You only learn from mistakes you make. And that's 100% true. Not only do we learn from mistakes we make, we learn from each other. So, yeah, that's awesome.
We're all in this together. Do, do, do. You know where that's from, Tony?
No.
No. High School Musical.
Okay. That's right. You have a singing background too, I understand.
Yeah, we're gonna have to get some singing videos on your channel.
We're gonna get you singing. I'm gonna do a. You know what? Maybe we should do a stream where I do not a comedy show, but what do they call it? A
comedy show.
What?
A comedy show. That's perfect.
No, not a comedy show. We'll get you to sing. We'll get Keith to come on with his puppet. We'll get a couple other YouTubers that have other special talents, and we'll just a variety show. That's what it is, a variety show. So
a talent show, a variety show,
talent show, variety show. So, but anyway, yeah. So this was fun, and honestly, in all seriousness, unless the viewers who are watching can tell us differently, I'm pretty happy about the encoders and decoders working well with this SRT. Oh boy, I need another cup of coffee. SRT streams, and then the RTMP server sending, in the Docker container working off the Synology, sending to both our channels. I really think it seems like the stream went without a blip. I might have had a couple faux ops with switching, maybe hitting the wrong input at a point in time, but I had a lot of fun. But I think the actual technology tonight worked pretty flawlessly.
Yeah, I have to agree. So I'm sending 6 megabits per second per encoder. So that's 12 megabits per second.
Right.
2 different SRT streams up to you. You're pulling those down. Right. And then you're sending 2 RTMP streams from your Synology. Wait, your Synology isn't even there though.
No, right? I have one. I have the DS920 here.
Oh, okay.
I have the DS920 here. I have the 216 down at the condo at the beach. But we did that. We tested that with sending the stream, you sending me a stream, and then me sending over the site-to-site VPN to the Synology down at the beach out to YouTube, and that worked flawlessly, pretty much too. And we tested that. But I just
Yeah.
I felt a little bit more at ease having the RTMP server right here in my studio. So
Yeah. No, that makes a lot of sense. So you're sending. So you're. What are you sending up to YouTube? 6 megabits
yeah, between 5 and 6. Yep.
times two.
Yes.
So you're sending. Wow. Okay.
So
So what's your connection there?
I'm taking in 10 or 10 to 12, and I'm sending out pretty much 10 to 12 simultaneously. But the connection here at this location is 250 symmetrical.
Okay. So you're. Is it fiber?
Yes. Yep.
Gotcha. Okay.
So, and then when I
So
get
that's pretty good. It's been rock solid.
yeah, when I get to the house, it's going to be a gig symmetrical. So, I mean, when we talk about the different things we've been kind of discussing, I mean, I should have a pretty rock solid connection there as well. So I'm not too worried about it.
I'd really like to try the streaming bridge, the ATEM streaming bridge, and run it at like 30 megabits per second once I get my new fiber internet and you get your new fiber internet, and
Yeah.
see if we can get like a super, super high quality stream.
Yeah, no,
You know, like we're, yeah.
I'm
ahead.
definitely up for that. Because I know we tried it here with this internet connection, and I think we tried it when you had your other set, and when you pumped that streaming bridge up, I think to 10, you were sending me 10, and we were having some hiccups. So, but yeah, with both of us having better fiber, better connections in the future, I think we should be able to do it no problem. So
Yeah.
what Zach says here, let me just bring it up. So Zach says, with you guys, it's always a combination of different kinds of shows. True. Amen, Zach. Thank you for that. But that's what keeps it interesting, right? And hopefully that's what keeps you guys coming back. So the other thing, Joe, in closing, I want to try is as you know, I set up that Pi as a Speedify router, the Pi 4, and I need to get a cellular modem, which we talked about already, so that I could test it with an Ethernet connection, a Wi-Fi connection, and bonding the cellular modem connection. It was simple to build the Pi. There was an extra piece of code to install to get it to tether to the iPhone, but the problem I had with that was it did see 3 bonded connections for redundancy, but for whatever reason, 10 to 15 seconds into the stream, it would drop the iPhone. So yeah, and I'm not sure what was causing that. So I'm really stoked about getting my hands on a cellular modem so that I can test it and see if the 3 bonded connections remain uninterrupted, because would be a pretty neat solution.
I totally forgot I was going to send you over that extra cellular modem I had.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. If not,
yeah. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, if not, I'll just go out and grab one. I mean, either way, but for testing purposes, yeah, if you don't mind, and then I'll send it back to you when we're done.
Yeah. No, I mean, even if you don't, I could actually, I'll show you what it is if you want to go to my.
Go to your PC.
Yeah.
There we go.
MoFi. Oh, there it is. I was talking about this a while back. It's this thing. Looks like I don't know. Oh, they have new ones. That's cool. They have new ones. But yeah, I think it's the Sim 4, Sim 8.
Is it 4G?
Yeah, it's not 5G.
Okay.
But it's basically it's a router as well. So it has you can put you can really put, I think, any carrier into it.
Okay. Well, I'll give it a try.
Yeah, they have some new ones. I didn't. It works pretty well, but I really it's just not as portable because of these giant freaking fins.
Yeah, it almost looks like a Netgear device with all the antennas.
Yeah, so that's why I end up using the Netgear. Is it Netgear Nighthawk? Or is it Lynx? Yeah, I think it's the Netgear Nighthawk 4G router. These things right here.
What's the price point? I can't see it, Joe.
Regular price is $350. Oftentimes you can get these used though
Okay.
for like 120 to 150.
Okay.
And these work really well, but you can see how nicely they slide into a bag.
Yeah, I mean the other one, and these have batteries, right? They can run on battery.
Yes.
And the other one, the Mophie doesn't, right? That's requires power, AC power.
Correct.
Okay, but still, for testing, just to test out the capabilities of Speedify running on the Pi, it would be fine.
Right.
Cool.
Exactly.
All right, I'm going to go back up to 2 up, unless you're looking for something to show.
Oh, they make a Wi-Fi 6. Oh, look, I was going to say a 5G one with Wi-Fi 6, but it has bad reviews. What does it say? Outstanding 5G router, expected more. Does not work with T-Mobile. Well, it's an AT&T router, isn't it? Oh no, I guess it's not. See, 5G would be pretty cool to test out for some of our remote streaming. You can put us back to the 2 up, Tony.
Yeah, no problem.
But that would be pretty cool if there was 5G available, because then you get really high speeds, supposedly.
Right. So,
Yeah.
what do you say we bring this puppy to a close? We're live now for 2 hours and almost 2.5 hours.
SB says Nighthawk Netgear is great. Yes, it does work with T-Mobile. Oh, nice. Thank you for that. Yeah, I think it's time to probably bring it to a close. It's about 8:25 here on the East Coast. Tony, I know, is going to eat the other half of his grinder he had for lunch.
Yes, sir.
But I am going to go find something to eat for dinner.
Very cool.
So,
well, thank you again, Joe. I appreciate it. And thank you, everybody else, for sticking with us and hanging in there. And look for that giveaway information this week, the announcement on the 15K giveaway. Joseph, what do you think of all this?
That's it. Thank you all for hanging out. This was fun. Thank you, Tony, for running the stream. This was great. I could just speak nonsense here and don't have to worry about it.
I had a good time. I enjoyed doing the stream. I enjoyed watching you fumble. No, I'm just kidding. I enjoyed engineering the stream, getting it all set up, and I also enjoyed switching it. It was a good, fun experience. So thanks.
And I enjoy you, Tony. Enjoy your company.
Right back at you, buddy. And on that note, we're going to say, see you all in the next video.
Take care.